Hey there, welcome back to my module all about something. Again, I always say it, each thing is super important because I get super excited about everything I have to talk about because uh, these are things that we struggle with on a daily basis. So, one of the things I'm going to talk about, or the thing I'm going to talk about tonight, is body positivity and learning how to actually respect your body. Okay, so I know that that can bring some mixed feelings because in today's society, there's this thought that obesity can and does mean that you're not healthy. And then there's another side of people who are really fighting for the rights of and respect for people who have larger bodies. So before this is the last module before we get into the intuitive eating portion, but I wanted to go over some things tonight because, as you know, as I've talked about before, intuitive eating, the goal is not about weight gain or loss. Okay, so it's about relearning what your body, its natural hunger cues, and learning to respect and trust those things. And some people lose weight, some people gain if they've been really restrictive, super restrictive, or are below a lower body weight. Like I said, some people lose, and overall the goal is to normalize your body weight. So you've got to be prepared for some ups and downs in that area. So teaching you about body respect is just, it's really going to help you move away from the numbers on the scale. So we say negative things to ourselves constantly, right? That's already been proven. We've talked about that. And, American society sets us up to fail. There are messages out there. The media is always in our face. I mean, it's so hard to love our bodies if we have extra, fat rolls or whatever you want to call them, because there's so many and so much in our face saying that it's wrong, wrong, wrong. So it's not your fault if you feel bad about your body or you feel ashamed. It's not your fault. Okay, it's the society that we live in and the things that we are surrounded with and the messages that are constantly bombarding us, and then we don't do ourselves any favors because we end up saying all of those negative things to ourselves. We beat ourselves up over and over again. It's just like this vicious cycle. We really lack a lot of positivity. Okay, so body positivity and health. Body positivity is all about accepting where you're at. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to change or make improvements or feel better or have goals and about your body. If you want to change something, I don't think that's anything wrong with that. I think it can be a slippery slope and you want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. But whatever your goal, you have to respect where you're at today, because if you don't accept and love your body now, you're not going to succeed in any kind of life. I mean, I'm not saying you won't succeed, but it's going to be very difficult because you are going to be down on yourself. If you're down on yourself all the time because of how you are, you're only going to struggle in future things that health changes that require mental energy, etc. So hating your body doesn't get you any further to a goal, or it only really helps you backslide, right? So it's so counterintuitive. Like, we just want to hate ourselves, but nobody ever hated themselves into thinness or hated themselves into being more fit. So if you give yourself a chance to just love and accept how you are, it's going to release pressure. So much pressure that you're putting on yourself, and free up mental energy to start focusing on the things that make you healthier. More nutrition, finding enjoyable exercise, etc. So that's how it all connects. Okay, so it's good stuff. So one of the things that you need to really accept as you are going forward with this is that we all have a genetic blueprint. We all have this set point, and you may or may not have heard that before, but it's where our DNA is written for us to be. All right, our weight, a certain size. Okay, so like I said, it's okay to want to improve yourself in certain ways, but you've got to do it from a place of love and not of hate, because your body is genetically designed to be a certain weight. If you are fighting and eating less to try to be below that particular weight, your bodies might slow its metabolism. So there's lots of things that your body will do, and we'll talk about those here. So it's very powerful, your set point. Your body's genetics knows where you're supposed to be. So it knows how to be there. Naturally knows how to be there. It knows how to tell you to be hungrier, or tell you that you're full, or it manages your metabolism to keep you there. All right. So it's all the emotions and the outside stuff that really mess it up. Okay. That really mess it up. Diets, poor coping mechanisms, etc. So your body intuitively knows and genetically understands these things. Okay. So the first thing to do is accept your genetics. I'm not saying that you're genetically designed to be 250 pounds. But you have to accept that you may not be able to get to a weight, or you may not ever be a weight that you want to be. So by accepting that is the first step to being able to step back and take a real look at where your body should be. Okay. So BMI, people have talked about BMI before, and it's a measure of your height to your weight, okay? And 18.5 to 24.5, your normal weight. Above that is overweight, and then there gets to be obese. So, news flash is that BMI was created 50x plus years ago by insurance companies to create guidelines for charging people, etc. So they compared those numbers to causes of death for people, and tried to make some correlations, but it's really not translatable to our daily lives. Okay, so BMI it's really garbage. Okay, so in this, we're not going to talk about that, getting certain BMIs. You need to grab that BMI and toss it out, because we are not going to be dealing with that, because the research isn't there to show that it actually means something. So talking again about biology, all right, we have this set point. We have a desire to eat, and our hypothalamus in our brain, it drives our primal need for energy. Okay, I mean, you can't control it if your body needs energy. That's where you end up losing complete control. Binging, going overboard. You try to diet and restrict, and you're chemically, your body is having to chemically react to these things. So we use higher cognition, this whole willpower thing, to try to fight what's going on in our hypothalamus when it tells us to diet. So using this volition, this strength and this willpower, it can help you in the short term, but in the long term, it's really not. It can't win over your primal appetite. It's super, super difficult to do. It's just biology. It's way stronger. It's way stronger than you. So, let's talk about something called homeostasis, right? What's homeostasis? It's essentially your body is trying to maintain equilibrium. All right. So it's really as tight regulations. Your body has tight regulations on its different processes, including maintaining your weight, right? Very tight. So the constant restriction will trigger. It will really trigger that hypothalamic reaction. Hormonal survival mechanisms kick in here, people. Your body's like, whoa, I'm starving. I'm going to start kicking up the hunger hormones. I'm going to kick up the fat storing hormones. It's really a constant fight. Okay, it's really a constant fight. It may release more hunger hormones. I mean, who needs more hunger hormones? I don't need any more hunger hormones. Do you? Nobody needs that. So there's enough of that. It creates a drive to eat. It increases your desire for high-fat foods. It decreases your desire to move, to exercise, because your body is sensing the starvation. It's just everything that you are trying to do, your body starts fighting and going the opposite direction. So your hypothalamus will get more aggressive, right? It's more and more aggressive. It's like, this lady does not want to feed me. All right, I'm going to have to slow my metabolism down because I need to maintain this genetic weight. So I'm just going to slow down the metabolism, and you see that as, oh, I can't lose weight, or whatever. It's so much harder. Well, your body is telling you, hey, skirt, this isn't working for me. So I've got a study here that a really good study showed that it studied the metabolic rate of individuals at their usual body weight, okay? Some of them, one group lost 10 to 20% of their body weight, and the other part gained 10% of their body weight. And then they measured the thermic effect, like these people's metabolisms. The people who had lost a significant amount of weight actually had less calories burned in a 24-hour period than the people who had gained. The people who had gained actually had higher metabolisms. So what that's showing is that these people that lost very drastic amounts of weight in, I think it was maybe 4 to 6 months, drastic amounts of weight, they had measurable lower metabolisms. And nobody wants that. We want to keep our metabolism stoked. We want to feel good. We want to burn. We want to eat. It's just naturally how it is. So case in point, I just wanted to go over that really quick because you really need to stop fighting so hard, right? Really need to stop fighting so hard. The harder we fight, the more our bodies push back. And that's where the dieting struggle, the exhaustion, that's where it all comes in. All right, I can't do this anymore. It's because you're worn out. You're totally worn out from a constant fight internally and externally. So again, stop fighting yourself so hard. Think of it as sand. I'm going to leave you with this in this part of this, our little chat here. Think of it as sand, all right? Your body and health experience. Imagine you have a hand full of sand, just in an open palm, and it's just resting there. What's happening? It's just resting. It's cruising along. You can carry it wherever. There's no stress. The muscles aren't tight. There's no tension. Nothing is flexed right here. You're just kind of chilling, right? Now squeeze it. Imagine you're fighting. You're squeezing that because you're trying to hold on to that sand as hard as you can. What's going to happen? It's going to start leaking everywhere. All right? You're going to lose pieces of that sand. Why? Because you are squeezing it unnaturally. Let it go. It's going to relax and return to the state it should be. Okay, so for this little part of this chat, I'm going to leave you with that thought. And I've got some more to talk to you here in our little date, but I want to give you that to marinate on. And we've got some worksheets that you can print out and start looking at. And I will see you guys next time where we're going to talk about health at every size, because yes, it can occur. So I will talk to you ladies soon. Bye.